computer.
I'm in office, so if you don't mind, I'll be listening.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Yeah.
So good day to everyone. And for those around the world who might be watching after this is done, I will share this. My name is Itoro Kwanikwat, for the record, National President, AKISAN USA. That's Akwa Ibom State Association of Nigeria, USA, Inc. Our website is akisan.org. Let me share that real quick. akisan.org. Our contact information is our email address, president@akisan.org, or you can reach me at this number. I ask that you do so through WhatsApp, preferably. If you call, I may not answer based on the calls that I get, but if you send me a WhatsApp message, I will respond within 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks for everyone who is on the call. This is an issue that is very near and dear to my heart. As you know, AKISAN, one of our objectives is to encourage and to support the educational, professional, and legitimate business aspirations of Akwa Ibom citizens, and in this case, those back at home in Nigeria. I came up with this idea of an IT camp. We do have medical missions on scholarships, but it always appears to be one way. So I wanted a situation where we can not only support people back at home, but also empower them at the same time. In other words, they come out earning money. This is the 21st century, so everything is going IT, whether we like it or not. So it's only natural that being a web developer myself, that we start with this. But I'm also looking for other opportunities. So whether it's plumbing, electrical work, sewing, whatever it may be. But let's start off with the IT camp. I've known Mr. Hanson Johnson, who will be speaking shortly, for about 10 years. I've actually never met him, but we've been communicating through Facebook and whenever he visits the United States. I will start off by reading his bio, and then he will have his own presentation, and then you guys will ask any questions you may have. I've asked him a lot of questions myself, but I want all of us to be comfortable with where our money is going. The key thing is I don't want us to have to wait till August, convention time, to raise money. So we need to think of other creative ways, whether it's through private donors, government entities, or corporate entities, so that we do not have to stall with respect to our projects. The important thing here is that this, at least this initial stage, will not involve any AKISAN funds. It's going to be totally private donors, but AKISAN is facilitating the process. So you will give your money to AKISAN, and then we will pay Mr. Hanson one lump sum. So without further ado, I will read out his bio, and then he will start with his own presentation. Mr. Hanson is an international ICT consultant, founder, CEO of Start Innovation Hub, one of Facebook Hub partners in Nigeria. He is the partner head of Ecosystem Directorate at Innovation Support Network, ISN Nigeria. Since 2010, he has contributed to the development of the technology ecosystem in Nigeria as a software engineer, ecosystem builder, manager, director, mentor, and country mentor. As country mentor to Google developer groups in Nigeria, he works with the developer relations team at Google to ensure developer welfare, access to content, engineering support from Google, and supports them to build sustainable technology ecosystems in their local communities. Some of the projects he has given technical assistance and consulted for include the Digital Access Program of Her Majesty's Government of the United Kingdom, Sustainability Model for Edo Innovation Cluster, Nigerian National Broadband Plan Development, and Anzisha Prize, South Africa. He is a graduate of Electrical Electronics Engineering, Communications Engineering option from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, Nigeria, and holds an Android developer nano degree from Udacity. He's been in business since 2014, a number of graduates since he started tracking 440. And with respect to his services, he offers software development / tech entrepreneurship training, startup pre-incubation, web and mobile development, digital media marketing, design, and access to seed funds for startups. His website is starthub.com.ng. His contact information is also on there. At this point, I will stop sharing so that he can take over the screen and begin with his presentation. So Mr. Hanson, let me allow you to share 1 second. Okay, you should be able to share now. So please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly.
And I can see your screen.
Yeah. All right. So we have been doing this for a couple of years now since we started at 2014. But we started tracking 3 years ago. That was because Foundation for Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta Pinch Foundation decided to fund an aspect of the program. So we were able to start tracking. So the first batch was 100 people. Then because of the outcome of that first batch, they supported us to do another 50. And we called that one like 1.1 version. So then after that, they supported us again for 90. And after the success of the 90, they supported us again for 200. And the 200 is just rounded up this month. So Sprout, we are looking at an Akwa Ibom State Market in demand ICT training program, and that's going to be supported with entrepreneurship support training as well, because we identified over time that not everyone are looking for a job. Some people have ideas and they want to start fleshing them up and build sustainable business model around their ideas. So we decided not just to do technical training, but we combine an entrepreneurship training so that those that want to go into entrepreneurship will be empowered to do so. Those that are seeking for jobs will also be empowered to do so. So Sprout is a market in demand ICT training and entrepreneurship support program designed to help connect 300 talents in Akwa Ibom State to global opportunities in the technology sector within 12 months. This initiative will also help create 50 direct jobs in 12 months, fund 3 startups, and attract foreign direct investments to the state. So the jobs tied to this program, most of them are going to come from the direct job linkages that we are going to place them on either internship, and the ones that are doing very well, they should be able to have access to entry-level positions in companies, said companies, anywhere in the world. If we are able to fund startups, then the startups too, because they don't have enough money or too much money, they will be able to have access to affordable talent that they can hire within the local ecosystem instead of importing people from Lagos and with them, and that's going to be very expensive to achieve. So, about us as an organization, Start Innovation Hub is a technology incubation center in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. We are official Facebook Hub partners for like 3 years now since they made us that offer. We serve as a center of excellence for Facebook activities in Nigeria. Our core business concern is in talent development. Let me pause and explain here that we actually came to help businesses grow, but people had ideas, but they didn't have the skills, the talents were not there. So we decided to go a step down to discover talent so that we can use them to harness and build solutions. So our core business concern is in talent development and incubation of startup ideas. Our trainings are job guaranteed, and our engineers are working in most of Nigerian tech companies, the likes of InterSwitch, Baystar, Hotels Orange, and the rest. So we have also talent who got jobs abroad and they relocated, while some work from the hub here in Uyo and earn foreign exchange. We also host Facebook and Google technology communities, activities in Nigeria, which give us access to content and engineering support from these tech giants. So about me as a person, from 2010, that's when I graduated from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, from electrical electronics engineering, but my option in school where I specialized in was communications engineering. So I had a nano degree from Udacity. Udacity is a mock platform that you learn online there in the US, Silicon Valley. So from 2014 to date, I'm a guest to Google in Silicon Valley. From 2018 to date, I'm a guest to Facebook in Silicon Valley. We founded Start Innovation Hub in 2014 May, and since 2019, I have been the Pioneer Innovation Support Network Ecosystem Director. since 2016, I've been the country mentor to Google developers in Nigeria and has supported the establishment of over 10 innovation hubs across Nigeria, Kenya, Madagascar, and Ghana. I've been consulting for international organizations. Some of the projects I've supported Her Majesty's Government of the UK, Digital Access Program, which was carried out in Nigeria. GAI have worked for them, and Zisha Prize, South Africa, have also worked for them. The problem, why we are doing all this, why are we doing this? So our people, their jobs, people come to us that they need jobs, and actually they need the jobs, but they are not employable. So unemployability is a big challenge here because there are some jobs and they don't have the skills. So we tried by building some people's capacity, and they're able to have access to these jobs. So that's a problem. Angel investors and venture capitalists prefer Lagos currently because Lagos is like where the market is. And again, all the businesses doing well in Lagos, most of them, if not all, are not owned by people from Lagos. So since there is a market there, so for us as an example, people come to us that they want to invest in us, then we must relocate to Lagos. So we'll have to tell them that the vision is not, yeah, when we scale, we are going to have a presence in Lagos, but we want to start from here, then come to Lagos. Not that come and lift us with money to go to Lagos. So we will not be able to solve the problem we are trying to solve here. Lack of local role models in tech. So imagine that I also left for Lagos earlier. I wouldn't have been a role model here locally for anybody. So today we have attracted over 400 young people. As we speak now, every day in our offices, we have like over 150 people that are here because they have seen who they want to be like, and they sit up, learn, and at the end they gain something out of it. Lack of opportunities is also, so even when the talent is everywhere, here in New York, there are talent, there are opportunities in Lagos. So we need to do something that will also create opportunities for people here locally. Market linkage is also a problem. People have what to offer, but no one knows them. They don't have that support innovation. Infrastructure, people still struggle with internet. Some people don't have quality access to internet. The devices they use, government policy, some they double regulate or over regulate us. If you are building a product in the fintech space, you'll be regulated by NCC, which is the Communications Commission, and the CBN. So imagine being the one to pay to go for 2 licenses, even when you cannot even afford one. So internet and power, data for informed decision making have been some of the challenges we are facing, including funding. So the solution we thought of was job guarantee market. People are doing trainings, but they are running it as a business, as an institution, such that they can't wait for this batch to finish for another one to come in so that they can make their money. So the training we do is not as a business. We are doing it to discover talent. So if we train 100 people, we have not achieved anything. We only achieve something when we are able to connect a percentage of these 100 we have trained to either jobs or support some to start businesses. So we place them on internships. And we also run a fellowship program that will make them more professional in what they are doing and become job ready within 6 to 12 months. We also look at job and market linkages for people that are qualified. Monthly ecosystem meetup, which we have been running with support from Facebook and Google. Incubation and demo day for people that are building stuff and they come out to show other people their progress, what they've achieved. And in such events, we may invite potential investors to see whether they will be interested in what people are working on. Then access to funds come from there. So our target, we are hoping that we can reach out to 300 people, 300 technical talent within 1 year. Then 3 startups will be supported within this 12 months. And also, we hope that we can create 50 direct jobs within this period, even though more of the jobs will be still be created after the 12 months. So far, we have been able to get 8 million naira from PIN to support this program. So supposing we are still working with 300 people, that means we'll be looking at having 58.6 million targeting 300 people, but if you're working with less, definitely it's going to be less or lesser. So the proposed deliverables, we're looking at software development training, which runs for 6 months. Then the graduates qualify for internship or fellowship. Graphic design, animation, digital marketing, those ones run for 3 months. We have our specialty fellowship program, where the people that will finish from this program or that have skills already come into that fellowship program, and we polish them up and we make them job ready within 6 months. We also have incubation and entrepreneurship program. So the selected ideas here are groomed to launch in 3 months. So most of the people that are working on these ideas or these teams will be also people that are coming up from this program, because if you want to hire from Lagos or outside, it's going to be more expensive. So demo day for people that are building stuff. After the 3 months of pre-incubation program, we have a demo day, invite people, investors, maybe government, to come and see what people were working on, and if they are interested, they can put their money where their mouth is. So job fair, after the training, we organize job fair and invite potential employers physically or virtually for them to come and see people that we have groomed over time, and they pick people from there to hire. So the people that we have in-house, we also have partnership with companies who reach out to us and tell us what they want. Then we recommend the best fit for them. Ecosystem meetup is what we do almost regularly, and it's supported by Google and Facebook. So project phases, this is not sequential. All of them can even happen at the same time. For example, training can happen, incubation can happen, and yeah, those two things can happen at the same time parallelly. Then ecosystem meetup is what happens. Maybe we choose that every month or every last Friday or last Saturday we'll be meeting to share ideas. So those that Android guys may have their own meetup. If it is a general topic for everybody, everyone come together. After the initial keynote, they say, then we can now break out to specific specialized unit. So a front-end engineer would have to be in a sub-class that we are only discussing what concerns them, not that we are talking about an Android and someone who is a back-end engineer is there. So after the initial intro, people break out into smaller units and have specialized discussions. So benefits so far. The lady by my right was recognized by Facebook, I think November last year, as an icon of change in Africa. She's one of our graduate trainees that went ahead to get hired by InterSwitch. Then just this month, I think 2 weeks ago, she announced that a particular day was her last day in InterSwitch. And a week after that, she announced that that day is her first day at Hashnode. Hashnode is a US company, and she's joining them as their developer advocate. So this will create employment opportunities for citizens locally and internationally, attract foreign direct investments to the states, place Akwa Ibom on the tech map, encourage more businesses to start tech-enabled businesses, then enhance youth engagement. Partners currently that we have worked with, and PIN Foundation, HNG Internship, Google Developer Groups, Facebook Developer Circles, and we saw AKISAN USA as a potential partner. So this budget, the program in our office, we charge 150,000 naira per trainee that is coming in. So since we are looking at bulk people, more number of people coming in at the same time, we had to reduce the fee to 100,000 naira per head. So depending on how many people are coming in, they're just going to be 100 times the number of people. Then we also have the specialty fellowship program. So the budget for that program is 3.6 million naira to take care of these people we are going to select for 6 months. Then we are going to run an incubation program where we are going to fund 3 businesses. So we are looking at 25 million naira to run this for 3 months to support 3 businesses to go to market. So in conclusion, we are excited about this project and the prospect of reducing the rate of unemployment in Akwa Ibom State. campaigns is saying that Edo is the only state in the South with the lowest unemployability rate. And they boldly wrote Akwa Ibom as number one there with whether 40-something%. That was embarrassing, even when it's just moving from another party to PDP, and Akwa Ibom is a PDP state. I don't know why they had to use that. So this program, Akwa Ibom was number one last year, but this year, I think Akwa Ibom is number two. So I would say we have contributed to making Akwa Ibom drop from number one to number two this year. So with your support, we promise to create a pipeline through this program where local talent in the state will be most sought after in the tech space as we prepare to sprout. The team we have been working with so far, myself on the extreme left, Mark Essien of Hotel.ng, Youth Johnson, the convener of Startup Women, and David Yangeto, who is the CEO and co-founder of Jiggle, a fintech company that came out of our space. Some of the testimonials, Edidium have just talked about her in my presentation. Nsikak finished from, he did OND in Uyo, and the parents wanted him to go to Mobile for IT, but he said he wants to join us. So after 1 year with us, he built a software that led Google to invite him to Silicon Valley. I think 2 years ago, so 3 years ago. So then Esther, I saw this on Facebook. There's a link. She said they started a company this year, and all of the people they hired to start that company came from our office. Like everybody came from our program. So that was a good one. Jude Ben joined startup, a machine learning startup in London as a blockchain engineer. Inogun Ogbonite, female, now with TechSpot, the Microsoft partner, Gostan became CTO at Porta, Abuja, and Yefon working from Uyo for a company in California, USA. Evidence, the same thing. Ofak Solomon founded a startup called Ilax. It's working for Afrilabs in Abuja. Then Nsika co-founded Jiggle. And there are a couple of other testimonials we have not been able to capture here. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hanson, for your presentation. One thing that struck me is everyone's name that I've seen on here, people you've worked with, people that you've helped, are all Akwa Ibomites. So that pleases me very much. I know we've talked many times, but I'm going to open it up to the floor for questions that they may have. Mr. Hewitt and Professor Ita, I've made you co-host in case I miss anybody. So I'll open it up for any questions, and then I'll interject with my own questions over time. So the floor is open for questions.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. And I wanted to thank Mr. President and thank the presenter for what a presentation, and thank you for the thing you're doing to get our citizens of Akwa Ibom not only educated, but giving them tools of the trade to go launch careers and businesses. I did have a question regarding industry certifications. One of the things to drive credibility with a lot of technology development is some of these industry certifications. Is there anything with your program that allows the participants to certify at the end of the program, whether it's, developer certification or, any of those industry certifications, Google certifications, any of those apps?
All right. So we work directly with Google and Facebook. So we don't certify anybody, but Google does and Facebook. So after the program, we enroll them on Facebook or Google, depending on what you are studying. Then you end up getting the certificates from the tech giants themselves, not us. So there is a certification for them.
Thank you. And then just to follow up, is any major challenges with your program? What are some of the major challenges that you face with your program?
So the major challenge is that the people that are very passionate about this program, they can't afford it. And those that, if they can afford, they don't have the devices, because you must have a laptop before you can be enrolled. So even if you can pay these fees, if you don't have a laptop, we are going to refund your fee because there's nothing you are going to do. That's the major challenge. Then post-training, when we have to be doing video conferencing, keeping up with clients that are remote, the location we are, internet is a huge challenge. So that's another challenge. Then another major challenge is brain drain. So we train, they leave because we cannot keep them. Why can't we keep them? There are no businesses that can afford their fees, and everybody wants better life. So they move, they migrate to Lagos, from Lagos abroad. So we keep on training and they leave. So we now decided to, on our own, started a few companies that are going to keep maybe 5 people. If they outgrow that company, before they outgrow, we should be able to have access to another young set of young people that we can retain it for a few times before they leave, till we can build a company that can keep them for longer time before they leave. So brain drain is an issue also.
All right. Thank you very much. Great presentation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have 2 questions and 1 comment.
All right.
So the question number 1, how much is it? How much will the training cost? The second question is, what are the specific skills that these trainees will acquire? So are they doing, is it cybersecurity? Is it web programming? What exactly are they being trained on? And then my comment is that when you talk about starting some startups there in New York, perhaps you want to look at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, if it's something that you can keep in your, in the future, raising money from the stock exchange. So getting listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And then that's how companies get started. Okay, those are my questions.
All right. Thank you very much, Prof. The first question, the specific skills that, how much does it cost? So it costs 150,000 naira per trainee in our offices if you walk in to ask to come and make an inquiry for the training. But bulk, we are looking at 100,000 naira per trainee. Then the specific skills they'll be learning are Android development using Java programming and Kotlin with XML. Then web programming, front-end web development and back-end web development. So apart from those software development courses, others are digital marketing, then design, both creative design and UI UX design. So why these courses? This is where we are guaranteeing them that even if we did not train you and you have these skills, we give you a job immediately.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you so much for this. I've been talking to the president for a bit about you. So I'm excited to actually listen to you in person. So I want to thank you now for bringing this to us. The question that I have for you was, what is the basic qualification to get into the program? What do you expect your students to have? And maybe the second aspect of that, I may have missed it, is when does the program begin?
Right. So I will answer in 2 parts. If you are just walking into our office, you have all the time. As long as you can read and write, we are ready for you, if you are ready for us. But for this program, I will highly recommend people that are job ready. You must have finished your secondary school or ND or NYC or a fresh graduate. Not someone that will just come in after 2 months, something happens and you are leaving us. Someone should be able to dedicate 2 years so that after the project program, we connect you to where you are going to be engaged, and from there you become ready for the market.
So I hear you, the program is 2 years in length.
The program is 1 year in length. 1 year in length. So the other 1 year is for you to maybe do your first professional job experience. Then after that, because normally when we finish, they normally work for maximum 2 years for a company. Then after that, they switch. They have a better job and they switch.
Okay.
So we consider your first job as part of our program.
Oh, okay. That makes that. I hear you then. So And when does the program start with you, or you just bring people in as they go on?
Okay, for this particular one, we are looking at October next month, 22nd October.
I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
First, thank you, Mr. President, for having this and reminding us on the Zoom chat. I completely showed up late. My apologies for that. And Mr. Hanson Johnson, thank you for extending this opportunity for us to have a conversation with you. I do have a few questions. One, the presentation that you just said, that you just had, is there a way that we can get a copy of it? For those of us that came late, if you could possibly send that over to
I will
us somehow, that'd be great.
I'll put it on the AKISAN website. I'm putting the URL in the group chat now.
Awesome, thank you. And then also, I wanted to make sure I heard correctly. Did you say that for inquiry, it's 150 Naira?
No, 150,000 Naira.
Just for an inquiry, just to come in and do an application, or is this to actually be a part of the program? When does the 150 start and when does the 100,000 start?
That's the only thing you need to pay.
Okay, so the 100,000 is in addition to it, or?
Okay, for AKISAN to support us, AKISAN is not paying 150,000 Naira per head. Rather, they are paying 100,000 since more people are going to come in at once.
Alrighty, and then you also made a comment about the 2-year span, that after they graduate the program, they're going to, gain employment.
Yes.
Is this actually an internship? Is it a paid job, or is it a contract with a company that's already established? Because you mentioned Google, you mentioned Facebook, but I saw a lot of startups on that last screen. So my concern is that with startups, there's a lot of failure, right? You have a lot of startups and they don't have the funds and they don't have the operations to keep going. So are we sending people to a company that potentially might fail in 9 months' time, and then we have to transfer them to another thing? Do you have other startup? Do you have any stronger companies aligned?
So that's totally dependent on demand. So most of them are startups. We have a few that are companies that have been there for over 5 years. Then it's not even about the company, it's about the talent himself. Because whether the startup dies or not, you are always there, and developers are scarce. Developers are scarce globally. So as long as you have the skills, there is something for you. Edidion joined InterSwitch. In less than 1 year, she has left for Hashnote. In less than another 1 year, she might leave Hashnote for some other company. So it's about you and what you have and what you can offer. People are always asking you, do you want to join us?
Okay, so it's not like a program where if something were to close in 6 months' time, they'd come back to you and say, hey, this startup that I joined is no longer in existence. Do you place me elsewhere? Do you place people?
We've never had that experience anyway.
Okay. All right, thank you for your answers.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Yes,
I have a question.
Okay, let me give Madam, ladies first, please.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, brother.
Go ahead.
My question is there any age limit to this program, or anybody can just apply and start?
Yeah, for this particular program with AKISAN, we will be looking out for people that are job ready, people that are willing to get hired after the program, not people that want to go back to school. Because when you leave this thing for 1 month, it has left you for over a year. So you won't train and go back to school. You have to be job ready so that you train and go have access to the jobs.
And my second question is, if I have a potential student in Lagos, do you have a location in Lagos, or the person has to go to Akwa Ibom to take the class?
The person must move to Akwa Ibom, and we guarantee him that the next time he's going back to Lagos, he's going back to join the company.
All right, thank you.
Please, I have a question.
Okay, please, Madam Vice President, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, it's more of a follow-up because Mr. Hanson, thank you so much for the presentation. Appreciate all that you're doing. I wanted to get the clarification During the internship second year, are they paid? Are the students actually paid? Are they earning
Paid.
income?
They are paid.
Thank you.
Is there a salary?
Salary,
How much?
dependent on who you are working for, from 100K and above, if in Nigeria. If you are here working for someone in the US, a company in the US, you may earn from 500K and above when converted to Naira.
So, all right. So are there set companies that you work with that we know these are the set 10 companies that are established, that have had progress with your program, that there's accountability? These are my concerns because I did my NYSC in Nigeria, and I know what the job market is like in Nigeria. So it's very ambitious. When I'm hearing about this program, without looking at the PowerPoint, just hearing about it and having conversations about it, it's a great program, but it's very ambitious to say that you're able to get gainful employment for people at 150,000 Naira and above, guaranteed. So you're guaranteeing that. How are we guaranteed it?
So the guarantee is that when you get what we are showing you, if you're not coming for the training, we can't guarantee you that. So successful graduates from the program are those we guarantee, because as we speak, we have a huge demand for technical talent. We are short of them. So, and people are always leaving because there's always a better opportunity. So that's why I'm beating my heart that I get, whether we are the ones that train you or not, once we test you, you understand what you are doing, there is a job for you.
I have a follow-on question. I know the demand for developers. I mean, that's the global demand. They don't have enough developers to staff this position globally. But for specific to your program, that's why I asked the certification question earlier. And just to follow up on Madam Idoyeme's question, do you have metrics on your success rate in terms of how many people come through the program and have been placed in work? I mean, is it 65, 70%? What's the percentage of success per year on folks that come through your program?
Okay, so we don't track certification, because even if you write the certification program and you have it successful, if you don't know how to build the software, the certificate cannot guarantee you a job. But if you have the skills and you don't have a certificate, you will get the job. So, but after the program, we have recorded over 40% success rate in terms of placement. At the end of, when we end on the 6th month, between 7, 8, 9 months, we record 40%. Then after 1 year, since we started, we record over 60% success rate. Success rate here is placement.
Is that just in Nigeria or outside Nigeria as well?
Across the world, not just Nigeria.
Okay. And do you work with the companies to facilitate the visas and those things, or how does that work?
No, we don't work. The company do that by themselves. Someone is leaving Uyo for Canada next year. He got a job 2-3 months during the pandemic. So I think shortly after the pandemic or before the pandemic, recently got a job with Shopify, and he has been working from Uyo for Shopify. Hopes to relocate for Canada by January next year. So
all right, thank you.
We want to take care of everything. We don't do that.
Yeah, no, I got it. Thanks. Sounds like a 60% success rate. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I have a question. It's really piggybacking to maybe a couple of the concerns that has already been echoed, and that has to do with the success of those who participate in this program. But let me ask you the question. The first question is the team. When I looked at your team that you mentioned, there's a Mark Exien. It looks like he's a founder of some other organization or hotel or something. Then you have another young lady there that is also another founder of something. I'm not sure. How are this team assembled? How are they congruent? How do they help the Sprout as an organization? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like a management team. It looks like maybe a partnership. Can you explain how that arrangement is?
All right. So Sprout is a program run by us with support from Marquesian, because Marquesian runs Hotels.ng internship program. So we have people from our program that join the internship, and his own internship too leads to job placement. So when our people finish the first 3 months, they are going to go into that internship program, and that also helps facilitate them. While some are going that route, some are going to our own fellowship program. So the candidates now at that level, at that point, based on their exposure, decide, do I want to do HNG internship? Do I want to go for Start Nation Hub fellowship program? Do I want to even go and intern at a company outside? So that's why we have those people coming together.
Okay. So Mark is really what he is a way that you can place a candidate. He's where you can, when a candidate, when someone graduates from your program, he may take one of those in as an intern. Okay.
So
how about the other young lady there? What's her name? Youth Johnson. What is she doing?
So Youth Johnson is the convener of Startup Women. So initially, all of us were guys, and we had issues with inclusion, mixing up in the office. So she started that initiative to somehow ensure that we have like 40% women participation in any of our programs. So
she's recruiting. So she's recruiting women to participate in the program.
Yes.
Okay. And then who is David Inyang? What is he doing?
So he's the founder of Jiggle, one of the co-founders of Jiggle, a fintech company. So he's a web development expert. So he's the one that mentors. So everyone that has a job in the US as a web developer through us passes through the rate.
Okay, so he's like a placement guy. We call him a placement officer. Okay, I got it here. Okay, let's go back to the issue of success rate. Well, you said this is about what you're about to do. The very next month is going to be the 4th batch. You had the first time you had like 150 people, and then you had 90, and then you had 200. You've had like you've done like within the last 3 years or so. This is going the ones that the one that starts next month will be your 4th batch. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, when you had 150 people, how many people of those 50 people still have a job today that you place? How many did you place, and how many of them still have a job today?
I will have to refer. We have a document, a slide also that I can quickly share. I don't have the figures of it, but I know we placed over 80 of them even after the program, and none of them lost the job. Rather, they moved from one job to another. Then, apart from, we also have cases where people had their experiences, but while they are working for you as a developer, they have more side gigs, and they prefer to freelance on their own or start their own agency and be getting jobs from their own teams and move on. So no one lost their jobs. Rather, they move from one job to another.
Okay. So the one that you just finished, you say you finished one that's about 200 people. Of those 200 people, how many of those have you placed?
We have placed 24 of them. We are just running off now. We have placed 24, so we are not done with the placement. Some of them are still undergoing. Then not all of them are software developers. We have, I think, 60 or less that are software developers. The rest are in rural areas doing Microsoft Package Pro just to bring in people and make them job ready because of the pandemic. So we had to shift our focus to accommodate people in the rural areas and people with disabilities. So we have people doing design, desktop publishing. That's why the numbers went to 200.
Okay.
So you have people in the rural areas, but you're complaining about connectivity.
Yeah, because they are not
in Uyo.
In the rural areas, they're working on Corel Draw offline, Microsoft packages.
Of your alumni, do you keep in contact with your alumni, and are there people that we can have conversations with to find out how this program was suited for them, if it was or not?
I don't know.
Just to pick their brains.
But they probably don't know the way you're thinking.
From a student standpoint, as far as what would necessarily be, I mean, you said laptops are necessary, obviously, but there might be other things that they would be able to enlighten us on or about pertaining to this program that maybe you wouldn't be able to as a student.
Yeah, I can share their contact for that.
Those abroad and in Nigeria, if possible. Thank you.
Another question, please, if I may. Someone had asked that they had someone in Lagos, and you suggested they should relocate to Uyo or to Akwa Ibom. Now, the last speaker just brought something to mind. When you say you spoke also about rural area, do they have to physically be in a room, or how does the class happen?
Yeah, they must physically be in the room. So we run a hybrid. We run a hybrid format. Let me call it that way. So depending on what you are doing and which batch you are, and again, because of the pandemic, we are very conscious about that also. So whatever happens in the room is to keep tabs with your trainer or mentor to understand where you are, what you are doing, you are following. But after the physical class, 4 hours, three times a week or every day as we design, everything happens on Slack. The collaborations, conversations, teamwork happens on Slack. So, but we come to the class to solve tasks that people cannot really get if they are working virtually. So both virtual and physical.
If I have a follow-up, you have different programs. I'm looking at your pages 9 and 10 in your presentation. And you have like software development is 6-month program, and then you have another one that's a 3 months. But I know that you have also said that the training is a 1-year program.
Yeah.
You know, how does this fit in? You know, you got all these different months, like 3 months, 6 months, and so on.
All right.
So let me how does it dovetail?
Yeah. Let me use web development, for example. We divide that into introduction. So after the introduction, for 3 months, someone chooses to specialize as a front-end developer for another 3 months, or as a back-end another 3 months. Then from there, you move on to the internship.
Okay. And then you have another program which the training might be, instead of 3 months, it's 6 months, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, I have to say thank you so much for the presentation. And thank you, Mr. President, for putting this together. Thank you.
Anytime. Any other? I do have a few myself. Number one, you mentioned.
I do have one. I do have another question.
Okay, go ahead. That's fine.
So I was looking at your budget, and it looks like what you're really proposing here is to partner with other sponsors to sponsor this program. And I was looking at the numbers, the budget where you're proposing about 58 million naira budget.
Yeah, yeah.
And this 58 million naira is to be able to sponsor 300 students.
Okay, the 58 million naira is for the 3 programs. We have talent development, we have pre-incubation, and we have funding for the startups.
Okay.
So if you are doing what talent development alone, and we are going for 300 people, for example, will be 30 million.
Oh, okay. So let's assume you don't raise the 58 million. What do you do? Let's say you only raise 20 million. What do you do?
Yeah, so we are passionate about this. So no matter how much we have, we are going to redesign the program based on budget and still implement it. But if we are getting the funding from a donor, then we have to now redesign, share with them to understand what we are going to do. They approve before we go ahead and implement.
Of the 3 programs, software development, graphic design, and what is SIH?
A fellowship. It's starting.
Which one? Okay, so which one is the most popular? Which one has garners the most students?
Software development.
Okay.
Software development, yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
So before, Mr. President, before you jump on, my question kind of piggybacks off of what you just said. How does someone know what to do when they get into your program? Or is that, how do you guide them through that process? I mean, what program, section, software development, whatever else you offer, how would they know? Or would they all start with software development and then go on to something else?
Okay, thank you very much.
Look like we have power problem, man. Uyo.
He froze.
Let me see if I can get him on WhatsApp.
While we're waiting, I do have a question, and I don't know if it's been answered, but when we're looking at partnerships, I know he's on hold, but I'm asking the group, when we're looking at the partnership slide, it just says they would look to partner with AKISAN, but that they've already partnered with particular groups. And one of those Google developer groups or Facebook developer circles, that's just a networking platform. That's not Google itself.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, please hold on. I think it was frozen.
No, I know he's frozen. I'm asking if this has already been addressed.
Oh, okay.
Because saying you work for Google or saying that you're able to place people in Google or Facebook is very different from saying I'm part of an online networking circle that is utilizing or pertaining to Google or pertaining to Facebook. Those are two different things. So if an online networking circle has already invested, I don't understand the structure of it.
Sorry, I didn't get you because I lost connection for a few seconds.
Somebody else was asking a question before me, I think.
Okay, before that, the question was how do they know what to do? So we counsel a couple of them that don't know what they are looking for. So we help them to decide what they are going for. We also have cases where people come and say they want to do web, Android, and digital marketing. We say no. You can't do all, you must do one at a time. And after you have done one successfully, we don't still recommend you going back to do another, rather you get a job and become a specialist in doing that. If you are still very passionate about any other thing, yeah, you can learn along the line while you are already making money with what you have already learned and understood. So we don't encourage them to pick more than one course. Even the one course you are picking, you're not picking it to be a professional of the whole architecture or something. You still have to pick up an aspect and become an expert, because that's what's going to guarantee you a job in the market space.
Ms. Ime, you had a comment?
I do. Thank you. So I was looking through your presentation now that I got a chance to, and on page 13, you list partners. Start Innovation Hub, partnership initiatives for Niger Delta, and then you have Google developer groups and you have Facebook developer circles. Can you shed a little bit of light on what those are? Is that Google itself? Is that Facebook itself? Or are those networking circles that you're a part of?
So for Google developer groups, Google has these developer programs that they support. It's a channel through which they send support financially and content engineering support-wise to what people are doing with their technologies globally. So not only in Nigeria or in Uyo. So the program is owned by Google and supported a channel through which they support what we do in Uyo, for example. The same thing applies to Facebook. Facebook's own started 3 years ago compared to Google that has been there for over 10 years.
Right, so they've partnered with you in which capacity?
So we are when people are learning Android is a Google technology, and Facebook wants people to use social login, which is Facebook's API or library on their Android solutions. So ordinarily, people may not have what it takes to go on their own to learn these things and come to integrate to the solutions they are building. But Google or Facebook channel support and say we should organize programs that will enable people learn their technology and integrate to their solutions.
So it's basically an online platform where you guys are able to go and so you partnered in a sense that you're part of an online group that has resources to learn particular thing.
Excellent, excellent. Then if we need technical assistance from them, they send someone down to come and show people, transfer the knowledge basically. Then from there we understand and share with others.
Okay, so it's not a direct partnership with Google or Facebook. I could go join that developer group, right?
Yeah, sure. You can go join a developer group.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so let me...
Question, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, that's fine.
Okay, Mr. Hanson, I was just thinking, given the numbers, the training numbers, how it's increasing, what are how are you looking into expanding the number of job availability? I know you stated that you have like a 60% success rate.
Yeah.
But then you're turning out 300 people. And what are the options that you're looking for to make them more, have that chances of getting a job?
All right. One of such options is this engagement with AKISAN USA, because we know that AKISAN is a bundle of opportunities. By the time we finish this and you test and have a testimonial, then we are also going to be in another problem because we won't be able to meet up your demands. So we are always having more demands than we can supply. Not really. Another challenge is that we can't really compel or force someone to learn at a pace we wish the person can learn. But so far, so good. How we solve that problem is at the entry level by sorting and ensuring that the people that really need this but can't afford it are the ones we allow into the program.
Madam President, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, I'm at work.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just getting into doing something. Thank you so much. Yeah, but I'll have to leave now. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yes.
Mr. Hanson, I did have a few questions. Number one, you mentioned front-end and back-end languages for web development. Could you mention the technologies in case someone were to ask?
Okay, so for front-end, we use JavaScript and Vue.js framework.
Mm-hmm.
So after the intro, you branch into front-end and you specialize using Vue.js for front-end. Then for back-end, we do PHP and Laravel as the framework.
All right. Do you do React at all?
We don't do React because we have not got people that are interested. We don't have a React community yet. It came up by Facebook recently, but there are few people, there are no opportunities locally for them. So people are not excited jumping up there. They are sure that if they do PHP, something is there. And they can also get support from the community, from experienced people.
Okay. And then this training, how many hours is it per day?
We don't run it as a training, say hours per day. It's like an apprenticeship thing. You come to work every day. But if there must be a physical training, 4 hours.
Okay. And how do you track? So let's say, for example, I want to sponsor one person now. How would I be able to, I mean, other than calling the person, but do you keep those metrics that maybe on demand you can provide for us to see?
Yes, everything is documented.
So will this be like on your website, something that we can easily access?
Yeah, if you need it on our website, we can make it public, maybe link to you, not really public.
Okay, that makes sense. And then let's assume this thing eventually gets very popular. How many people max can you, I guess, train or apprenticeship with at your facility at one time?
So at one time, we can take 100 max.
Okay.
At one time. Yeah.
All right.
In a batch, in a batch.
Okay. And my last question. Okay. You mentioned October 22nd, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say for whatever reason, we are, maybe a lot of people want to sign up, but we are delaying. Must it be October 22nd? Can it be November, December, just out of curiosity?
Yes, it can. It can be. It can be. It's flexible.
Okay. And regardless of the date, what would be the deadline for us to pay you?
What a question. The deadline to pay regardless of
what I mean is, maybe could we literally pay you the day that the program starts, or maybe before?
Yes. You can pay the day the program starts.
Okay. If you don't mind, put in the general chat your phone number, your email address, and your website, so anyone can contact you at any time. Any other questions?
Yeah, Mr. President, I had one more.
All right.
And Mr. Hanson, this is Akiko again. Is it possible to expose, what's your, you said you've been running for 5 years?
Yes, for 6 years, the company.
For 6 years. So is there any way you could expose us to financials, just again to show credibility of the company? How's the company been doing? You don't have to answer it now. If you could send that to our president. Over the past 5 years, your annual revenue of, of running this program.
All right.
That would be a good thing to, if you could expose us to those numbers.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also, sorry to piggyback off of that, what other companies are you vetting for sponsorship right now or partnership?
What are the companies I'm vetting for partnership?
Yes, besides AKISAN.
Oh, we are already working with PIN Foundation and Hotels.ng internship.
No, who are you vetting? Who are you looking forward to working with? Who are you trying to work with that you are already not working with?
No, but
who are you partnering with?
No, but we were in talks with GIZ, but that's for a different program, not this.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I know I said it would last for about an hour, but are there? Mr. Mike is here. You have a question?
No, actually, I'm just waving by. I'm saying thank you. I'm by. Okay. I don't want to just so.
Okay.
No. So, Mr. Hanson, thank you. I gotta go. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if there are no other questions, Mr. Hanson, thank you very much once again. To everyone on the call, I know it started at 1 p.m. Eastern, I think 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's very inconveniencing, but I wanted everyone to be comfortable with what they're about to participate in. This session is being recorded. I will release the video to a broader public. Again, you've put your phone number, email address in the general chat. So at any time, or if you want to send the people you want to sponsor to go check out his facilities, you know where it is. His website has his, the office address. I believe it's on Oron Road in Uyo, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's 264 Oron Road. But be that as it may, it's all in the general chat. Please type that in too if you don't mind. So thank you very much once again. I hope we all learned something and look forward to partnering with you. Thank you.
Thank you too.
All right. Well, have a good day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.